Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the patch notes have dropped for the balance patch going live later today. It only has 2 changes. We'll go over exactly what they are, but I feel like more importantly, we at least have some communication from the dev team and kind of how United and Stormwind is still rearing its ugly head even 4 years later. To all the people that said that expansion was not detrimental to this game, just take a look at the comments. We're gonna see it's not exactly the most favorable thing for that expansion. But anyways, we're gonna talk about it. Obviously, we'll have a full patch review tomorrow, and we'll go over some of the community reaction. It's been very negative towards this patch, but I want to see how it kind of lands later today, and then we'll talk about that in tomorrow's patch review. And of course, you want to stay tuned for that, enjoy the content on the channel. Please hit that sub button down below, give the video a like, as it helps the channel out a lot. So yes, patch 33.2.2 launches later today, around an hour or so after this video goes live, unless there's delays, which with Blizzard lately, there's been plenty of those, where it does have multiple balance changes. And before we get into exactly what got changed on those 2 cards, we do have a pretty lengthy dev comment with "well met. We want to share a quick update covering 2 things, a small set of balance changes and the current status of quests," right? They're underperforming, as we all know. The meta features a wide variety of decks across classes and strategies, balanced well against each other. So we've avoided major change that could disrupt things ahead of the mini set launch. Instead, we focus on a couple of play patterns that needed adjustment. As I mentioned in our nerf prediction video, the meta itself has basically a little bit of everything, just not really the newer stuff for the most part. And I was worried that they're going to see that and be like, hey, meta looks kind of balanced, that's fun, even though people don't seem to be having a lot of fun, right? Balance does not equate fun. The fun in Hearthstone, again, has felt like it's been lacking for a considerable amount of time, right? But regardless of that, that is their justification. They talk about Amir Dristle has been the strongest card in Druid since its release, especially in Alonius or spell damage Druid, where it fuels the 1-turn kill game plan. This change slows it down and makes it riskier to keep in the mulligan. Reserve spot has been enabling explosive early turns in hand buff on her, even though it's a warrior card. I love that. So we made a bit slower and more measured to reduce those blowouts. So we'll see the changes in a sec, what that means. But this is the line that I feel like there's gonna be some contention against certain people that are very pro Stormwind. We've been following community discussions around the power level of quests and appreciate everyone who's taken the time to share their thoughts. Our goal this expansion was to bring quests closer to the level they reached in their first 2 appearances, rather the overperformance seen with quests in United and Stormwind. So basically they're saying, like I mentioned yesterday, that on the original Ngoro, not many of the quests were really that good, right? They were not that strong. Only the Rogue quest was super OP, got nerfed twice, and then Warrior was good and fell off after a while, and Mage and Priest were kind of fringe, and the others didn't really see any competitive play. You look at Saviors of Old Doom, for quests that were like really good there. Yeah, the Druid one was quite solid. I think the strongest one was the Shaman Battlecry one. I actually played that one quite a lot. And I will note, not a single quest from Old Doom has ever been nerfed in its entire run, which is, again, saying something. It was really OP or really strong, these cards. One of them likely would have got nerfed, but yeah, none of these quests got nerfed. The Warlock one by the end became pretty good with some support and like a Malagos OTK strategy, but the majority of the Old Doom quests weren't very good. Like the Paladin one saw fringe play, it countered Warrior to an extent, but they weren't super dominant. They were just kind of there. So it's very similar. I will say this Ngoro set right now, we have the Warrior quest is good. Obviously the Paladin quest is pretty infuriating to some people. It's good at lower ranks. The Mage quest is solid right now. The Warlock quest is actually seeing play, and then the rest are pretty bad. Like they're not even close for the most part. So it is in line with those. And they said they don't want it to be like United and Stormwind. We're not making further quest buffs in this patch, but we'll continue monitoring their power level in mini sets. So their goal, they're saying with this set, they never wanted quests to be at the level of a Stormwind, where they basically dominated the meta, they dictated the meta, and you blew up constantly. Basically, whenever the quest was completed, they won the game. And people have said to me, Zeddy, Stormwind wasn't that bad. It's more of a hindsight thing. No, I lived the moment. I was there. It was awful. People were quitting. It was one of the lowest engaged times in Hearthstone, and it got even worse with Alterac Valley. There is a reason why they have avoided that style of gameplay ever since. It's not creators gaslighting, it's just a fact. And there could be all the Stormwind apologists in the world with all their data on how these decks were skill cap and blah, blah, blah. They were not fun. They were not Hearthstone. And as a result, yeah, it's impacted this set of quest lines or quests where they don't want to go down that road again. They want these quests to be kind of fun, interesting, and if you want to play them, you can, but the majority of them, you're not going to be ultra competitive. They're going to be tier 3, tier 4, or in the case of a couple of them, they are competitive. Like we saw Quest Warlock at the summer playoffs. We might see it at the championships, and who knows, the mini set can always put stuff over the top. You never know. We'll see what those cards look like, but at the end of the day, yeah, the quests are not basically, they don't want to make the same mistake they made with Stormwind. And to my main point I will say to that is, why do quests again, right? If you want to avoid that, just don't do quests at all. Like, I think quests in general are not a great mechanic in Hearthstone that we keep revisiting over and over. Why not try something new? I don't know. That's why I wasn't super excited for the set, because again, I'm not huge on quests. I have never found them to be amazingly fun. None of my favorite decks of all time, if you go back to those old sets, have to do with quests. Like, just personally for me, that's how I feel. So yeah, if you don't want a Stormwind, why not do something else, right? Anyways, let's go over the changes. That's enough yapping, but I think that's important, like that message there. So yeah, Amir Dristle, it goes to 5 mana. Reserve Spot, it goes to 4. They're just +1 mana, right? Nudge, nudge. The usual these days, right? Nudge, nudge. Amir, it's a big deal. A big deal 1 turn for this card. Like, sometimes you draw it like a turn after you can play it on curve and it feels too slow. So now it's always going to be a turn a bit slower, right? You can trail mix, you can innervate, you can ramp into it a little bit with like new heights, but still, it's a big deal, and most of the Druid decks out there aren't amazing. It's just spell damage Druid, so spell damage Druid probably falls off to being like middling, and the other Druid decks are probably bad now. So it kind of sucks when a whole class seems to be propped up by 1 card. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, I do think this will be significant, and then wild to see play too, particular in like the what the Astral Community Druid, which is, you know, not even a meme there. You can get to legend with it, but yeah, that goes to 5, and again, Reserve Spot, the scam slow down by a turn, that it is significant. Again, it does matter, but I'm so tired of nudges in a game that just feels so crazy. But yeah, Reserve Spot will be 1 turn slower, and for a scam deck like that where an aggro deck can get under it or a control deck can find a little bit more time to get answers, is a big deal. Don't get me wrong. I just think the whole play pattern in this card just sucks, and I would rather see it changed fundamentally. But yeah, that's it. Those are the only nerfs. We got no buffs. There's a lot of BG changes. They sure love to help out BGs, I will say. Like, it's a little bit easier for them because, right, none of these cards cost people money. Everybody has access to everything, so they can kind of change things willy-nilly. It's not going to upset somebody who's like maybe only got 1 or 2 decks and it just got deleted, and then I'm screwed. Like, they have to keep that in mind. But yeah, BGs, it's a lot easier for them to update. And if we go to the bottom, is there any twist update? Is there any arena update? Any monetization stuff? Is there literally... No, there's literally nothing. It's just BG stuff and some bug fixes for BGs. That's it. That is the patch. So I'll be streaming it live later today. Go over, you know, how the game feels. I imagine, I'm just gonna say, I play high MMR. I play 11x, typically around top 1000 legend. I do need to get legend this season, which I'm probably gonna get done today. It's time to finally get it done. But where I'm at, this is before this patch went live. We're at top 1000 legend the last 3 days. Over 40% Fyrakk Rogue, and it's also the best deck. The second most popular deck, I think it's Hunter. I'm not looking at it right now, but it's getting nerfed. So we could very well see at top 1k legend, Rogue be over 50% of the meta. And you know what I'm going to be talking about, most likely, if that occurs, a certain Shadow Step and Prep combination of cards. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And then yeah, lower ranks, of course, the Murloc Paladins of the world, driving people crazy. Believe me, I see your comments. I know it's frustrating, but it is what it is, right? I don't know what else to say. I feel like this patch is not going to make very many people happy on either side of the equation. And I feel like that Stormwind comment is going to really upset some very biased individuals on Twitter and Reddit and certain podcasts. So should be interesting to see. Anyways, yeah, we'll have the patch review tomorrow. We'll have new deck recommendations in a couple of days. And if I could find any cool gameplay videos to make before that mini set is announced and we start reviewing those cards, I promise I'll try my best, because I do want to get some positivity on the channel. It's just been so much bad news lately, and it's so frustrating. I want to have fun in my fun, silly card game. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.